Hello and welcome to the DFS_PhD show for today, the 30th of October. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us. And, mm, well, we got 63rd in the big one on FanDuel, which on its face seems great, except for how the run out went, and it just is still killing me. And it's the next morning, and okay, so we get to the final quarter of the final game. We have slow-mo, we have Zion, we have Moody, we have Podz. We have 32 minutes left. I need these guys to score 16 fantasy points. They're averaging a fantasy point per minute. Did they get there? No. And that's 32 minutes of playing time, right? That's four guys times 12 minutes of game time, 48 minutes of game time, 32 minutes of playing time. They're on the court 32 minutes, including the time lost to blowout. How many fantasy points did they score? In those last minutes, they scored -2 fantasy points. Anyway, the difference between a massive night of winning like actually $50,000, it was 20 points more than this, or nothing, is a fourth quarter full of nothing from Podz and Moody and Zion. Two turnovers, gets pulled from the game with like 7 minutes left. Slow-mo missing every three. I mean, the usage was there. The guys were there. You do all you can. But, we try to stay positive. Got to stay positive on the show. Granted, also, I'm letting a little bit out because I've been prepping the show for like an hour and a half, guys. There's a lot of stuff to do today. Like, we got a lot of plays. Don't play any play that you're not absolutely sure could be the best play on the slate today, because there's a bunch of them that you could make the argument. As always, we are sponsored by Prediction Strike still, but we don't really have any new content for them. So I'm going to say again that we are sponsored by, do I have it up still? Yes. Unofficially sponsored by Jordan Spieth's Fairway Frenzy. Zoom in on this. I'm enjoying this game way too much in my free time, and you should start playing it too. If you like golf. I mean, if you don't like golf or like Mario Golf type games, you're not going to enjoy it. Okay. So yeah, these are my reads for the day. I guess I'll just say those as we go along. Yeah, let's see if there's been new news since the last time I looked. No. So we got Goga unlikely to play, Micic unlikely to play, now questionable. So now questionable with an illness. Don't expect this guy to play. I mean, yeah, Europeans, I don't know. Franz tried to play. You saw how it went. He didn't work. It didn't work out. These are serious illnesses, guys. I begged off of something yesterday as well. Like I have a pounding sinus headache yesterday. Better today, but I mean, like it's touch and go. Some of these are pretty serious illnesses. But we got Austin Reeves participating and D'Angelo Russell present. So this is one of my favorite things ever. You know what that means. You can pretend. I mean, if your back hurts or your ribs hurt or something, you're not playing full contact and shoot around, you're not ready for the game. That's just how it is. And I mean, and the words are present, right? Like this is from the same guy, presumably, that said participating. So it's just a material difference, and you got to recognize it and you got to plan for it. Now, it doesn't matter. It's the first game. We're going to get the news beforehand. Both of those are starters. So just pointing out for the future. Okay, so on to today's millions of rules. We might as well get to it. I have sorted by ROI. Ooh, we've got some really good ones. Looks like a minimum of 2x today. Oh, excellent. It's never going to be true. All right, so we can't be that much Podz. What, I mean, 65% though, he got a ton of run, right? Like a ton of minutes. Oh, I actually have this game up already. So I have a number of I mentioned I've been doing this for an hour and a half now, which means that a while ago I looked up Golden State rotations, but was it so long ago that it's no longer up? Okay, so let's look up those Golden State rotations. I thought that was yesterday. Was that really 2 days ago? Wow. No, that was yesterday. It's just not there. That's confusing. Okay, don't really know what to do with that. Thought he even had it up. Maybe they pulled it because it was wrong, or I don't know. I haven't. I don't know what's going on there. Pause is a good play. I can't say for sure exactly where I want to put that number out right now. Oh yeah, let me say about all my rules first before I start doing this. This is what Contest Sims gave me natively with all my rules and projections. So you can see it loves Podz, it loves Schroder, it loves Simons in that game. Which what? How is that? Oh, this is we're doing FanDuel first and then DraftKings because I just still liking the FanDuel product better as I mentioned with it being the sponsor of the show. Even though today Today, DraftKings has the $5 to 100K one. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing that one too. Probably about the same on both sites though still. I still like that $3 to 10K competition on FanDuel. I feel like I'm in it every day and I'm going to be in it to win it. So I'm taking 30 shots there. Okay. We added the OKC blowout group. This was max one of Shea, Chet, and Jalen. I don't think they all three get there. This game's going to be a blowout. San Antonio's not. I crossed out. Wait, actually, did I cross out everybody? Yeah. So I wound up crossing out everybody on the game upon further consideration. So this happens when you make a zillion rules. With Claxton's replacement, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think you do either, if you're being honest with yourself. So even when we see the starters, don't change your opinion. Like when you saw the starters for Golden State yesterday, you might have changed your opinion about something. But always be a spot start. So don't freak out when you see something weird, right? Like don't jam a starter. A starter doesn't mean they're going to play. They can play that weird shift that's 6 minutes and then not again, which turned out to be for Moody. So it's not always a good thing if your guy's starting. He's playing with a lower usage unit and could be a spot start. Could be something weird they try. It doesn't work. He's gone. So today we got Clowney, Wilson, Finney-Smith, and Zaire Williams. Those are the guys who could be your Claxton replacement. You don't play more than two of them, and you boost the heck out of all of them because they're going to get a ton more minutes than they usually get. And they're really low price. Those guys are 3,600, 4,500, 4,200, and Zaire Williams. I forgot to even click him into the pool. So enough. I got to rebuild that. He's definitely in play. It's just I mean, at such low ownership, I don't want to be an extremist, so I'll take 5% darts eventually. Okay, so what were my other rules? You know what? Since I'm still reading rules, I will rebuild the lineups to make sure I get Zaire in there because he's fine. He's part of my Brooklyn blowout. So, okay. Ayton and Clingan, they are splitting that until like Doo-Wop Reith got the last 2 minutes in the absolute blowout. So that's fine. On the other side of the OKC blowout, I just didn't like anything. I completely crossed out San Antonio. They're doing the Golden State thing, spreading out minutes. Now, if you want to, you could play Wemby and Chet, like have some rule where you play them all together sometimes. I don't know. I just don't know the minutes for these guys don't seem that great, even in the blowouts or even in the close games. I think we got other options on the slate, so I'm going to go to the other options on the slate. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow, that was pretty fast. We're still filling all 5,000. I'm only allowing $200. Let's see other rules. Zion foul trouble, you know the rule. We've got Missi and we've got Theis there. I think they're becoming increasingly less likely to be valuable. Capela and Okongwu are both there now. People will not play either one of them. However, they're playing against Washington. It's one of the easiest teams to be a big playing against. So you should still play some of them. And similarly for Toronto against Charlotte, bigs against Charlotte is a thing. Mogbo's these guys, I couldn't do it because of the price, right? I think that's probably what it was for Zaire too, now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, it's not going to be on the hash version. But so I did a thing this time. Yeah, he still doesn't show up just because of money. He's not quite a good enough value, I think, compared to the other ones. Well, whatever. He's a fine value. Okay, so this is FanDuel, yeah. So other rules we got here that are important. Moody, we got all the Golden State rules from yesterday. I'm not going to revisit them, but it's the same guys. We're not going to go crazy for Lindy Waters. We added him to a rule. He's in play. He's not in play on FanDuel. He's in play on DraftKings because he's still like 3,200 or something. But on FanDuel, he's 4,000. The minimum's different, so don't go as deep with your darts on FanDuel because you'll get beaten by somebody. Like all the top values pretty much have to be able to push for 30 points on FanDuel, even if you're a value play. So it doesn't really matter if you're like a 7x value play if you're going for 25. Your absolute points matter. Barrett, we'll have to hear if there's like a limit or something, but against Charlotte with Scotty hurt and quickly still out, like he's the guy. I mean, he could have a triple double tonight if he's unlimited. So we'll have to hear, but you can see yourself getting to a lot of that. Wizards, yes. So we also have to do Wizards replacement with Kuzma out. For that, I have said maximum 2 out of 3 of Sarr, Valanciunas, and Bagley. I don't know what they do. I think I did 2 out of 4 rule on DraftKings. Yeah, let's have a look because I'm pretty sure I included Kaishan. Kaishan's also in this rotation as a big. I just don't think Kaishan's in play on this site. Let's see. Yeah, I boosted him. He's just not really. They're playing. He's listed as a shooting guard. That's pretty valuable. A guy who's listed as he's 5.9. Yeah, I guess it's just that I don't think they are going to play him that much. I think that's why he's unclicked here. He's still an okay value in a vacuum. But what I'm trying to do here is to learn from how the RPS guys are kind of getting to it here early in the season. Early in the season, we have some smash values and some guys you need to be more. We've got too many games today. You need to be very, very. I talk about being an extremist today. Be an extremist. You need to keep that player pool tight. It's got to be dudes who can score 40 and dudes who can be like 7x and score 35. Like there's no, you don't have guy. I mean, like maybe a guy who can score 30 at an 8x or something. If that's numbers will even work out, probably not 32 for 8x of the min, right? On FanDuel. I don't know. So yeah, it's all right. I've got a bunch of rules. Maybe I should just go to where that takes me. Joval is projected for too many minutes. Too much of the Kuzma minutes are going to Joval in the industry. It's going to go to an assortment of Sar and Kaishan George and Joval, and I think Cub Carrington could be like, that's what you got to figure out. Like, how do you make this rule? Is it like Kaishan versus Cub? Is it Marvin Bagley involved? Like Bagley on this site? Could you put him in there? Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did on DraftKings. I made this rule max 2 out of 4, and I included Bagley. But Bagley, the reason I didn't do that on this site is because he didn't get any run until garbage time in the last game. Even with, let me see. I think that was even with Kuzma out. Let me check. Yeah, Kuzma was out already, and Bagley only got one shift. No, Kuzma was in this game. So that's the thought is that Bagley showed he was the next guy in the rotation. Maybe they go to him. However, he did not take the floor after he actually got hurt, but that was an important part of the game. So I don't know. I think Bagley's an okay part to include in rules. You just don't need that kind of cute value on FanDuel. So I'm still not going to change the rule on FanDuel right now, but I am going to leave it that way on DraftKings. I think it is the right rule overall in terms of how you parse the guys. It's just you have to be more demanding with your value on FanDuel. More demanding. Okay. So I've chastised you about your use of value. I don't know how you're doing. You're probably doing it better than me. I got crushed yesterday. So I mean, yeah, when you take a stand on a 4-game slate and you unclick some people and you slightly when you go, hey, that's too much Jokic, and you that little where I took him down like 25%, that's profit gone from whatever side I did that to, right? 25%. That's all. Now I'm matching the field. Now I'm like scrapping to cash. And now I'm hoping my one lineup, threads the needle and gets there. And it almost did, but still. All right, I'm trying to take the positive, which is 3 of the 8 days so far, I've had sweats for an actual takedown. It's ridiculous. That's way too high of a probability. And I think it's because the rules are adding up. So even though it takes me freaking an hour and a half to do this before every slate, I think it's important. And yeah, the place you wind up with, you're just going to have some people like Wendell Carter Jr. still underprojected. Doesn't matter about Franz being there or not. He's playing more minutes. You got Poeltl just underprojected. They finally caught up to Zubats. You got Nick Richards underprojected. Trey Mann with now we've got a midday downgrade. So that's something where okay, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. So I've built in a rule here because I don't know for sure what's going to happen with Micic out. I do think with a downgrade in the middle of the day, Micic is going to be out. But I don't really know. Is it going to be Nick Richards? Is it going to be Trey Mann? Like, probably, I mean, sorry. The Richards thing is a different thing, and we just don't have a backup good enough to play here. But I put it all on Trey Mann right now. You could do if you wanted to a Trey Mann, Cody Martin, Seth Curry rule. They're just not attractive targets to me on this slate. Like, I'd rather hope that Trey Mann gets extended because 24 minutes is not really enough, right? Like, I mean, if we're losing what Micic is playing 16 minutes, right? So even if he only gets 8 of those minutes, that makes Trey Mann 32 minutes. He's like a starter level guy. And so I think that's well within the range of outcomes is that you get a significant Trey Mann today. He is kind of, I mean, it's not really shooter. It's kind of more, does he get the point guard role? But let's make him shooter percent just to be, to be reasonable. Because in this way, with shooters, you don't want to be an extremist. You could really die in a terrible way. Okay, so yes. Realize now I'm making YouTube videos where I say when and how you want to be an extremist, possibly going to pop up on some lists. So I should probably change the way I'm phrasing that. All right, so we've got all of our like stars rules, so you can see. Oh, huge mistake. What's going on with Philadelphia? What's going on here? Like one of the biggest disagreements I have with whatever's going on here, which I assume is the. I mean, I guess got to write down play Drummond. Let me put a little note in the. During the show, I went crazy about Drummond overs. During the show, I went crazy about Drummond minutes. Look up alts and pricing. Because I think that it's right. Like I I don't think I think that the actual betting industry will be on this, but they're playing Detroit. It's Jalen Duren out there. And this is like, wasn't that one of the teams Drummond was on recently? Isn't this like a grudge match? And he's very low priced, and this is on fan. I don't know. I just can't get to him playing 26 minutes when he played 35 in the last game. He played, I mean, overtime. Or oh, I'm sorry, 38, right? So what was it? Was it 35? I think it was 38. Yeah, it's 37. So subtract five, 32 minutes. Like they've got him for 26. That's 6 minutes light. And I mean, it's a close game. This is a close game. What am I missing here? So, and Duren is on a limit, by the way. That's why he's out of my pool. I think 29, 29, 29 is a signal from them. So he's not there on the opposing side. But yeah, Drummond, Maxey, gotta have him, gotta love him. I also boosted Cade because, and I don't think I did blowout. Yeah, I didn't do blowout lineups because not expecting a blowout. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I haven't looked at exposures yet. So let me stop. Obviously, I've got the Boston and Indianapolis game where I did the blowout rules for Siakam and Halliburton with Pritchard as the linchpin. So if you want to make another blowout linchpin somewhere, I have Brooklyn rules that are questionable that you can poke infinity holes in. We'll see how much they matter. Wow, that's a lot of Schroder. Okay. I mean, didn't feel like it was a huge stand. His minutes are just more. Like they're projecting 31 minutes. I project 38 minutes for Schroder. So if that's really, I mean, okay, I got to go over here to my. Anytime I find something where I'm sure they're also Schroder. So I'm just like the minutes are wrong. Like I know the minutes are wrong. I've double checked that already. So I mean, I'm not going to go more than 30% still, but I think the field will be higher than 3% on Schroder. He's fine. Simons is ridiculous. 15% is fine. Like Schroeder's not just a shooting play, right? Like he got there yesterday with shooting, but he could get there today with 13 assists and Cam goes nuts. Like I said he would yesterday. I mean, remember how I said, "Oh, nobody on this team will go for 40," and then Schroeder's like, "I can do it." Like, thanks, bud. That's not what we're looking for. We're not looking to be shown up like that. Did Slow-mo get stats? I thought he got 24. Yeah, 20 minutes. So I mean, like if he hits any shots, right? He got 20 minutes and he shot 0 for 9. 0 for okay. I just got to take that off. I didn't know it was that bad. But I mean, like, okay, so he's a shooter. We saw he's a shooter. Don't have to have him, but down to 0% from clearly the best play of the slate. No, he got the minutes. Let's not now. Did I say 24? I might need to pop him to 20, and that makes him questionable for. Yeah, it's questionable for FanDuel. I don't know about doing this on FanDuel. This seems too cute. Kyle Anderson, too cute for FanDuel. That's a too cute for FanDuel. That seems like a fun is that a list or like what did they do? Magazines used to do calendars. Whew, boy, the past, right? Ooh, that's been a while since that was relevant. Okay, but I probably have to just redo the entire slate to get less than an infinity percent of Podz and Schroder and Tatum. But yeah, you get where I'm going with this. DFS under projected for minutes, but like, do I want to? The reason that DFS is in play on FanDuel is stock variance, right? So some of these guys, like on FanDuel, I'm still trying to figure out big games aren't just guys scoring a lot of points, right? The big games are sometimes a guy getting 8 stocks. So that's more of an upside. So I'm playing more. I'm not going to play this much of DFS, but I'm okay with playing more of him on FanDuel than on DraftKings because he's more of a FanDuel optimal type upside guy. Let's get to 3 uniques, see where that takes us because we just got so many options today. There's no need to be so condensed. Let's say 4 uniques. I had 4 uniques yesterday. It was no problem. We're down to a slightly minimum ROI. Let's get the median to a few hundred. Yep. But we still can't give me like, these are reasonable constraints. I haven't given it too many constraints. 5, will that give me to an appropriate whatever. I'm gonna probably stop doing this soon because I understand this not to be interesting. Plus, we're probably not filling 30 lineups anymore. Oh, we are. Oh, and the minimum's positive now. Well, that's not necessary. Didn't need that. Okay. But you see what we're doing over here on the left-hand side. We're getting to Podz, Mann, Clowney. I like these names. The names that are at the top are the names I like. It's a little bit much maybe for Okongwu, but he's coming off a rest day. So it's possible that like every other day is kind of a rest day for Capela, right? So I'm on board with that too. Tatum, Recherche, he got in foul trouble. Everybody's projecting him to get in foul trouble every single night. Here's a hint. I don't think he does. Yes, I understand there was somebody hurt or injured or whatever. He's still coming off the bench, whatever. His minutes are independent of whatever injury thing. Yep, love all these. Oh yeah, let's look at leverage, see if there's any smaller plays that are no. Oh, negative leverage plays. Norm Powell, Herb Jones, Tim Hardaway, guys who just have to hit shots, and even if they do, won't get that much value. This is FanDuel, right? So you get 20 points, who cares? Jalen Johnson, Kelly Oubre, Tobias Harris, LeBron James. Still, I'm not sure what's going on there quite. Kaishawn George, I'm a little worried about that. It's just that, like, I don't think we get very much percent for him scoring 30 or more. Let's just look at the bins to feel better about, like, is it 12% or is it more than 12%? His bins of more than 30 are 5, 8, 9, 10. So he's about 10% optimal and about 12% owned. So that's why he's out of my pool. I just don't see I don't see it. Yep. You can put him there though. He's not bad. Okay. And yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in my actual DraftKings pool, which makes it a pretty nice entree to go over here and look at my DraftKings pool. Which also, it's a different slate. This is also why it's second. I don't like this. I don't like it when they cut out the late swap. But, so yeah, I've tried to think of it in terms of the advantages. The advantage is people who don't like late swap will pour into this competition and not use late swap. And guess what? We've got a very late swappable situation in Brooklyn where, we don't know, Claxton's out. I mean, Claxton didn't start the last game, so it's not that unusual, but they could do whatever. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in that game? Expected to be a blowout. They could just completely punt. Anyway, so I think you can still do late swap on the main DraftKings slate. You absolutely should, because most people absolutely will not, right? I mean, that's the whole attraction of making it this way. But in the first half of a game, I mean, granted, you're going to extrapolate some things like with Ant-Man, but Ant-Man was still pretty close to optimal last night, right? Like when I'm looking at my winning lineup, Ant-Man still there, right? I'm not sure the winning lineup had him, but I know you were like, you had a chance. You weren't dead if you had Ant-Man, even late in the night. So you knew that good piece, pretty early. Oh yeah, so Akbaji is now popping to the top of the list. We haven't run the contest sim yet, but that's something I haven't talked about yet. Scotty, hurt, don't like it. Akbaji played all of overtime, even though someone else came in. Who was it? I might as well, for completion's sake, say who it was that came in at the end of regulation. Fire this up. Yeah, it's the first thing I looked up. It's a Mogbo. So at first I thought, oh yeah, Mogbo's going to smash in overtime. He's going to. No, not in an overtime. Because if you're good enough to play at the end of regulation, but I mean, they give up a point. Yeah, -3. Okay, so the other team hit at 3. They came back, and so Mogbo gets benched for Akbaji. But you've seen like they did direct sub Mogbo in. You could include Mogbo in a rule with Akbaji. I don't know. Seems a little cute. Okay, so now Akbaji's fine though. Like, what's 5 times 5? 25? That's the amount of Akbaji. I like having double the field on Mann because of my arguments about I think that what's his name, Micic being out will benefit primarily Mann. Nick Richards, just underprojected for minutes, 50-50 that he gets there. Barrett, if we get when is this game? This is early, so for now I'll go 50-50. I don't know. Like, I'll just match the field. I don't know what's going on with Barrett. I don't want to pay the price for the obvious play. Um, Poeltl, fine. I'm double center today, almost definitely based on Richards and Poeltl, and we've got other great values at center too. Trae Young, still a shooter. He had a great game. Don't want that much. Andre Drummond, smash play. I'm gonna have him all over. What's 8 times 5? 40, 45, 40, and then 0.5 times 5 is so 42.5 is our max for Drummond at this ownership. Schroder, Mogbo, I don't know. Schroder, I could be a little higher on 45. I just think, yeah, the projection for minutes for Schroder is wrong. And if the whole industry is doing that, great. I'll take the money. Other places we did that are, yeah, Wendell Carter. I'm still not getting to him on either side. Is a little surprising. Let's just double check that everything's fine there. I thought he was a pretty good looking Wendell. Oh, it's not. Yeah, he's on the slate. Not sure what's going on there. Wendell Carter Jr. He's there at 3%. He's just not a great value. He's playing against Chicago, I guess. I don't know. Not sure exactly where I got in there. Getting there, I got him pretty good and goosed. But yeah, I guess it's mostly that Drummond is so underprojected. Richard's so underprojected. Schroder so underprojected. Akbaji even at this point with 37. I meant that to be 27. Whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie alert. Whoopsie alert. That's supposed to be 27. Akbaji's not that great of a play. Not 37. Fat finger mistakes are just as painful as regular mistakes. Now that probably means my pool of is going to be massive amounts of Akbaji. 90%. Okay. Gonna have to rebuild to get any kind of reasonable lineups now because of the 37-27 mistake. You don't even see that, right? Once you input that kind of error, you just blind to it. So now I didn't do this. Let's look by value. Okay. So Zaire Williams kind of had a good game off the bench. I think I have a rule where I put Zaire in here as the maximum. Yeah. So I got like the replacements for who goes off with Claxton gone, right? Because there's a couple possibilities. Number one, they get blown out. In that case, Zaire Williams goes off. Number two, it's anything else. Oh yeah, you also have Shake Milton is in play for that blowout stuff. But you could also have Wilson or Clowney getting extended or DFS getting extended massively. So I don't really know. We got it's a pretty good number at 24 minutes, I think, for Claxton last game. So you want to put it 12 and 12, any one of these guys is a smash. You put it 6, 6, and 6. I think you might even go. You could probably make this. Let's see. How much did Claxton play? And how good are these plays? Because it might be a no more than 2 rule. Because Claxton played 26 minutes, but in regulation 21. It's a lot of minutes to give around. You know what I mean? Like, unless we're gonna have a whole new guy enter the rotation, I just don't. And that's what. So that's why that's why it's a 1. It's a 1 because the new guy is the possibility as well. Either one of these guys gets massively extended, or the new guy gets. I don't know. You can do 2 if you want. For now, I've done 1, and that's how we get to this. A lot of rules, guys. Don't know if I said them all. I did leave them in the Discord. Poeltl smash, WCJ smash. Now, good. WCJ, thank you for respecting the smash. I think he's getting a lot of minutes, right? Like, they've got him for 28. I had him for 32. Yeah, that's the whole difference. It's 4 minutes. That's a pretty more than a point per minute guy. It's 1.25 or something. So I got him a little higher. Let's put him down at 33 or whatever. That's a hill I'm fine with playing on, possibly dying on. Zaire, shooter's chance. Bronze, shooter's chance. Sar could get there. Payton, Pritchard, shooter's chance. Cub, shooter. Yeah, okay. All right, I don't think I have anything more to say, guys. So with that, I'll say you're good enough. You're strong enough. And gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us. Good amount of money on both websites.